Ready.
Okay, so when we left off last time, it was sort of under a bit of harrowing circumstances. Talking didn't seem to go so well at Riverguard Keep. And really through no fault of your own, but also your fault. An encounter
When we left
with
off last time,
Jolly, or Jolliver Grimjaw, did not go well. A confrontation happened, and a fight ensued between what you assume is the leader of the keep, some guards, and some sort of caster that he has with him. The fight did not go well, and one of the guards ran off, you assume, to gather reinforcements or alert the keep, and you made the decision to run away and live to fight another day. So one by one, you made your way out of the room and up and over the north wall. You managed to kill a couple of guards or bandits, what have you, on your way out. And once up and over the wall, you guys quickly made your way away from Riverguard Keep and decided to regroup, plan, and come back at the keep with a different plan of action. And that is where we will pick up. So we'll pick up, I'd say, you guys have moved away from the keep. You're far enough away that you're out of sight. Savra has seen you guys leave, heard the commotion, and has met up with you. And she leads you, I'd say, back towards the camp that you had established, far enough away from the keep that you don't think you've been followed.
Well, that could have gone better.
That could have gone a lot worse.
Maybe you don't try to be a pirate anymore.
I agree. That was a failure on my part for sure.
I had him. I had his mind. I don't know what happened. The spell should have worked. Talor is just going to open his spell book and start thumbing through pages trying to figure out what went wrong.
All right, well, we need a new plan of action.
Agreed. I think we need to take a day or two to compose ourselves, rest, and just maybe watch in a more careful manner what ships are coming. Are people coming? How many guards can we see? How many people can we see that are inside the keep?
Agreed. Should probably have our more stealthy individuals do that. Starsha?
Can we spend a day doing that from afar before we try to creep back in?
Well, I'm just thinking you get as close as possible, but still, be a far enough away. That
Oh, yes, okay. Well, maybe a couple could watch from the other side of the river, maybe even using hippogriffs from the air, watching for ships. Some people could watch the road, some people could get in closer.
About that, the hippogriffs are off hunting. I don't have them here right now.
Uh-oh. Oh, I bet you Tox could hide in that water.
Can Tox breathe underwater? Can you breathe underwater,
No.
Tox?
No, I can't breathe underwater, but I'm a frog.
What kind of...
Frogs don't breathe underwater, Deebs.
Come on.
But you can keep a low profile and
I mean, I'll be glad to swim around in the river.
It can stay underwater for 4 to 7 hours.
We could also go up the river and hijack the next ship and be real pirates, Taladar.
Pointy-eared Pete.
I don't like that name.
That's actually an interesting idea. If we wait for a ship to leave the harbor and go downriver or upriver, we could storm the ship potentially.
But we can observe first.
Yeah,
and
either
see
way.
what happens.
Either way, yeah, let's just see. Maybe we can get an idea of how their operation works.
What time is it, Darkstar?
Let's see. You left from the campsite roughly 8 a.m. Made your way here. Futzed about a bit. I'd say it's probably noon, just after noon.
Well, it's been the afternoon seeing how they react to our commotion. And then hippogriffs will hopefully be back fronting for this evening so we can maybe use them tomorrow morning. So it's the rest of this afternoon for watching from the land, then tomorrow hippogriffs in the water.
Just be aware that a hippogriff is very large.
Hmm.
They are not the stealthiest. And out this far, you haven't seen any others flying around.
Noted.
Just something to be aware of.
Can I get that invisibility cloak now?
Yeah, I'm not sure where that is.
Can you dig deeper in your bags?
All right, well, who are we sending to observe, or are we all going to observe?
I can do pass without a trace. Actually, no, I can't. I've used my spell slots.
I don't think your armor lends to being stealthy.
No, I'm agreed, 100%.
If we do a short rest, I can give us a pass without a trace for an hour.
I can hang back with Sabra.
Uh-huh.
Short rest?
Yeah, you guys can take a short rest if you'd like.
It's a long rest for a spell slot, right?
For most people.
For
Yeah.
most classes, yes.
I get 2 spell slots back. Well, one level 2 spell slot from short rest. So that gives me another pass of the trace cast.
We should probably let things die down and not just rush back in there this evening.
Okay, so we kill a couple hours and do pass of the trace. Let's try to speed up a little bit.
If we took the night, perhaps Savra could go back to her people and at least give them an initial report, see if there's any assistance they'd wish to lend us or any further instructions they'd have.
I agree, Taladar. I mean, we have this afternoon to continue doing a little bit of scouting. Let's make use of that. The hippogriffs are out hunting, so Savra can't go back until this evening anyways. But then we send her back tomorrow and continue scouting the next day.
Fair. Okay, I'm taking a short rest and doing an arcane recovery for a level 2 spell slot.
Yeah, and I did the same for mine. And so, who's going up? Everyone but Deeps and Savra? Everyone but Aranor and Savra?
Going to what? Just to watch the water?
Just scout the keep, watch people. Whoops. See if we can collect any intel. Anything the Dark Star is going to deign to give us.
Yeah, so you guys can all, I don't know, what your hit point situation is like, but everybody can short rest roll hit dice if you have them to get health back. Get your spells back via arcane recovery or whatever it is that druids do. And then, yeah, decide who is going to go and scout. You know, keep an eye on the river, see if there's any traffic coming. I'm assuming you're doing that. You know, see if there's anybody else coming and going from the keep. Is that what the plan is?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys have, you know, taken a little time to rest, recover. And so Aranor is going to stay behind with Savra because he's Clanky Pants.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of you are going as a group, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'd say as a group.
Okay.
I don't think we should split up.
Okay, what is it that you'd like to do? What do you want to look at?
Maybe just from the south, watch the road going into the keep and watch the river for ships coming and going.
Okay.
Is there a safe spot to do that from the south, or do we have to
Yeah,
do it
there's
from the
lots
north?
of sort of bluffs and hills. It's not very densely forested here. There's very, very little in the way of trees. So yeah, from hilltops, you can see that it does look like one additional guard has been put on each of the walls. From this vantage, you can't really see down inside the walls of the keep, nor from where you are into where the sheltered sort of harbor is. You don't see any other traffic on the road heading towards the keep. But over the next few hours, you do see several smaller boats traveling the river. Some with one passenger or you know, operator. Some a little bit longer with two, with what looks like goods or furs or things like that. One or two stop in at the keep. And they're there for, you know, 20 minutes, half an hour, and then move on. Some of it, the goods in the keel boats look like they've maybe changed, or some have left the majority of their goods behind. And at one point...
Any ships that go in or out that have more or fewer people after docking?
No, it looks like those, the handful that you've seen are only 1 or 2 man sort of boats. Until you do see a larger boat that looks like it's got... There's 3 people standing, piloting it, and several goods boxes, tarps, tied into the center of it. And it does move in, and it is docked there, and from where you are, you can't see what is being offloaded. But when they leave, an hour later, there is almost nothing left in the boat.
Any kind of distinguishing marketing, like a sail that we'd recognize?
No sails on any of these. The last of the boats, the larger one, looked like it had 3 people with long poles steering it, piloting it, with 1 additional person as a lookout, and then a vast amount of something under tarps or wraps.
But then those tarps and things were gone when it left?
Yeah, when it left, there's almost nothing left in it. You watch this for a while. The Desserin River is it is a fairly significant river in the area. There is a lot of trade that comes up and down. There are larger boats that you see that go up and down the river that don't stop at the keep at all. And then there's a handful of smaller boats that you see traversing that, again, don't stop at the keep. So it's a fairly active waterway.
The boats that don't go to the keep, do they give it a wide berth? Like, do they stay on the other side of the river?
I wouldn't say they give it a wide berth. It's just if they have no need to dock there, they just continue on down the river.
Yeah, to his point, is there any sort of exchange between the boats that pass and don't stop and the keep? Like, is there a wave, a flag raised, any sort of interaction at all, or are they largely ignored if they don't stop in?
They seem to be largely ignored.
Okay.
The boats ignore the keep, and the guards that you can see don't seem to pay any attention to them.
The ones that do stop, do they signal in any kind of way?
I would say you're probably too far away to, other than maybe a wave, you wouldn't be able to distinguish if they're making any specific hand signals or gestures. And you definitely wouldn't be able to hear if they're shouting.
Something that would be very interesting information for tomorrow is that. Okay, I don't want to drag this out. If there's anything else of interest we catch, are we done for the day? Any questions anyone else has?
Yeah. Do we observe anybody come and go on the land side? Any patrols, like the folks who jumped us in the night? Any traveling merchants? Anyone else?
It doesn't look like you see anybody patrolling, no sort of soldiers or armed individuals. Towards the end of the day, once you guys have sort of decided you're going to stop watching the river and maybe head back to camp, you do notice a merchant's wagon, just a solo merchant. He's got a couple of donkeys, it looks like, pulling a cart. Does pull up to the main gate. You can see he looks like he's having a conversation with somebody above the gate. They maybe converse for a little while, and you do see one of the gatekeepers, maybe the same one that you interacted with when you first arrived, does seem to make a gesture towards this individual. Everybody give me a perception check, except for Aranor.
Yes.
Well, that was a sad roll.
13 for me.
Yeah, from this distance, really only Moss can make it out, and even at that range, not clearly. He seems to be holding his hands in a specific way towards this merchant. You can't tell if the merchant is responding with a gesture of his own, but after it looks like a brief conversation, the merchant heads back onto the road. He's either turned away or is not allowed in, or they've discussed what goods he has and they're not interested.
Worth talking to that merchant before opportunities passed.
Yes. I could dig around in his head a little bit as we speak to him.
All right, let's take the precaution of disguising ourselves. Moss and Talador, anyone else going to join us?
I mean, he's showed up. He's traveled from the north or the south. Which way?
Yeah, he came along the road right up to the keep. So from the southwest.
And which way is he leaving?
Same way he came.
So he's coming back. He'll pass us.
Yeah.
Shall
Well,
we
he'll pass sort of to the east of you. You're sort of still up on a rise.
Moss, shall we disguise ourselves to look like guards from this place, or something else?
Something else.
Traveling merchants of our own right, perhaps with overflowing packs on our backs?
That sounds like a decent idea.
I'm just thinking, if we're going to disguise ourselves, it should be something that would
I mean, if
should be
everyone's,
people he would be
if everyone's
favorable
got-
towards.
if everyone's got this, who else has disguise self or can disguise themselves? Someone else that talks in Starsha.
I think it'll be okay to just send a couple people.
I would really like to follow one of the boats.
Which one of the boats? One of the ones that has stopped here already?
Yes, I want to see where they go to after they stop here.
I mean, you could, but you're going to lose them on the waterway very quickly. They're traveling by boat, you're traveling by foot. So I would say you could follow it for a ways, but within 15 minutes it will have pulled away from you far enough that it will be out of sight.
That's true.
To you, it just looks like it is heading. Most of them are heading south down the river. Most traffic. Some are heading north. So two of you want to disguise yourselves as merchants and make your way to the road out of sight of the keep, maybe, to question
Yes,
them?
definitely out of sight, so we won't reveal ourselves or be in line for the keep.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. You guys decide to wait, I'm assuming, for this merchant to get on his way a little bit. Wait for him to get far enough away from the keep that you believe you're completely out of sight. And then you approach it. What you see is a merchant that he's dressed in merchant's robes, like for traveling. He's maybe a road merchant stopping from every small place along the way. He's got 2 donkeys pulling a cart. Seems to be quite laden with goods. The donkeys are also carrying some goods, and he does have a large pack on his back. Are you just walking down the road to approach him?
Yep. So we'll be coming from the other way, I guess, and I'm going to keep guidance as much as possible up on. So I'm just going to kind of keep on patting Talder on the shoulder, very friendly.
Oh boy. I guess every little bit helps. Yeah, so I mean, we approach just making small talk, looking as much as we can like 2 more merchants, plying our trade. And as we approach this guy, I'll just kind of stop and obviously notice him and sort of wave as friendly as I can.
Yeah, so he spots you heading towards him, and he sort of slows his cart down and gives you a wave before he, slowly pulls his wagon up to you along the road. Well, friends, what brings you out this way? I don't often see other merchants, such as yourselves, traveling out this way.
Just plying our wares, trying to find a new market, I suppose. Although this valley does seem a little more treacherous than what we're used to. Where are you from, sir?
Well, originally Waterdeep, but times have been hard, and so I find myself lately, not necessarily calling any one place home. I spent some time in Westbridge. Most of my travel revolves around the townships of the Desserin Valley. And I don't often travel on my own, especially lately with the roads being what they are, and the disturbances, as strange occurrences lately. And I hear several trade caravans going missing.
Yes, terrible news. That is, we've. He'll kind of glance at Moss. We know a few who've gone missing ourselves. We're still looking for them. What are you peddling?
Carpets mainly. Some tapestries. fabrics, a small selection, linens, cottons, but mainly carpets and fabrics such as that. Do you have an interest?
Sadly, I have no means to carry what I might purchase. Where might we find you in the future? Are you headed to what's the town? Is Red Larch?
Yeah.
Are you headed to Red Larch by chance anytime in the near future? We might be back that way.
It was going to be my next destination. I have been with a few traveling companions, but they were going to make their way to some knight's hold farther to the east in the hills, and I decided that I would. Well, I am in need of the money, and so I would risk making the short trek from there on towards Red Larch. That is my next destination.
Well, I think you'll find it quaint, but safe. Safer than most these days, anyway.
Very good.
There is a bathhouse there that is refreshing.
Yes, I have been to Red Larch several times in the past.
Well, good. Listen, friend, I don't want to hold you up much longer, but we are... well, we haven't... the keep over yonder, we haven't dealt with them previously, and I was hoping perhaps you might be able to give us some inside information on the type of folk within and what they might be interested in, and of course I'll make it worth your while and Taladar thumbs a couple of gold pieces from his pouch.
Save your gold, friend, and I would save yourself a headache. It appears they are not letting anyone in this day. They required some sort of a signal or a code, of which I don't know. They are always a difficult lot. I have come by here once or twice before. Rough, brigand types.
I'm gonna insight check him.
Okay.
Did they actually let him in, or did they turn him away at the gate, like you said?
From what you saw, they turned him away.
Okay. There's an insight check, and that would be a 13, unless there's guidance on that.
There is guidance.
So there. Oh boy, let me see. How do I roll dice on this iPad? Here's a D4. So that's a 13 plus 2, 15. Insight check.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be truthful. A little disappointed that he couldn't offload anywheres, but doesn't really seem to be surprised about it either. They don't seem the sort for finery or, handmade brocades and carpets. Perhaps you will have better luck.
Well, I have a few weapons on me that they might be interested in, and he'll sort of nimbly draw a dagger and flip it around in the air, catch it, and sheath it again. Well, perhaps we'll give it a try anyway. They didn't seem to rough you up, so we could but ask.
Well, best of luck to you, friends. I'll look for you in Red Larch when next I'm there.
I might be interested in a tapestry or two. I have some plans.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Well, I best be on my way before the afternoon grows too long.
Taladar is going to kind of stare at Moss like, what the fuck else do we want from this guy? Because I got nothing.
Moss is going to shrug and then have a coughing fit. Yeah, I guess we will try another place tomorrow. Maybe we will make camp in the wilderness here for tonight, though, and just kind of nods off in some direction, away from the other merchant.
Yeah, the merchant just sort of clucks to his donkeys and continues on back down the road.
Moss shrugs. That was not very useful. Might have a good deal on tapestries, though.
Yes, you know what, though? You know what? I will say this: we did not completely fuck that up, and that is a first. And I'm grateful for the small victory.
Just a big grin goes across Moss's face. I'll take small victories. All right, let's get back to the others. And Starship Talks, you guys doing anything?
No, I was just waiting out to the side.
Yeah, so the remainder of you would have seen, you and Starsha would have been able to see this entire interaction from, one of the nearby hills.
All right, do we make camp? Is there anything else we're doing? Or are we making camp for the nights? Hopefully waiting for the Hippogriffs to return?
Deebs, I see your roll. Put it back in your goddamn pants.
I was hitting on Savra this whole time.
Uh-huh.
With a 19.
I mean, it's pretty good. She seems moderately interested.
Okay.
So, are you guys all heading back to camp then? Are you doing any more scouting?
I'm out of ideas for the moment. The only thing I can think of is that we watch Kaylee for a symbol from someone that visits Skeep tomorrow. Get Starsha in close.
Yeah, what you gather from what little you could see, somebody up in the guardhouse was making a gesture down towards the merchant. You didn't see a similar gesture or even a gesture from the merchant. And the merchant also told you he was looking for a code or a signal or something that he didn't have, and therefore, they were not interested in his wares and refused to let him in.
I would not mind trying to find if there are any scouts, guards, anyone outside of this keep that we could kidnap, read their minds, etc., to try and get that code. I'm also not against going up to the wall if we have to do that.
I was thinking that what we could do is if there was only one guard on the wall, we could take someone out and then disguise ourselves as them. But with two, that's going to be really tough.
I mean, I could also just use detect thoughts to see if when he. Maybe I could read it from his surface thoughts. When we I could we could approach the gate and I could use that. I just don't know if it'd work. It's also not a very large wall. All we need is a distraction or a guard looking the other way, and Starsha at least could scale it.
Yeah, I mean, from the outside of the walls, from the ground to the top, is about 15 feet to get over. From the inside of the walls, it's about 10 feet to get over. The ground is a little higher on the inside of the wall. Bry's dying, so just give him a minute.
Hey, I have a question about the ships that kept coming and going. Were they delivering things or were they picking up things?
Some of the smaller boats, the 1- and 2-man boats, it's hard to tell. Some of the goods it looked like they had exchanged. They could have been, river merchants that were peddling. Some could have been trading for things. The last boat, the large boat, looks like they didn't trade anything. It looks like they were offloading because their entire inventory, everything on the boat, was gone when they left. With the smaller boats, it's a little bit harder to tell. They still had goods on them, but the goods might have changed. Like they were doing some trading.
But there wasn't anything that seemed like it would be suspicious that was being taken to the boats.
It didn't look like it. The large boat, everything was covered in tarps, and the smaller boats, it looked like the goods were in like barrels, crates, sacks, things like that. Nothing was open to the eye. what would you guys like to do from here? I'm assuming that Taladar and Moss are going to meet back up with the other two.
I'm back. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so you meet back up with Tox and Starsha. I'm assuming you're going to relay everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing from here? It
Unless
is
anyone's
now.
got any thoughts. Sorry, good.
It is now, getting later in the day. The sun is approaching sunset. Within an hour, the sun will have gone down.
Unless anyone's got any thoughts, I say we go back to Hippogriffs and get our long rests. Send Sever back with information and out of Deep's hands. Sorry, out of Arianor's hands.
Yeah, leave Deebs out of this. We don't want to get him in trouble.
Cancelled.
Kim's gonna find out about his D&D habits.
Okay, so we spent the day observing. Are we going to spend tomorrow observing as well and send Sever back to do what exactly? Report on what we've learned? And I think, Deebs, Arianar, were you saying that whether there's any additional instructions from the knights?
Yeah, that works.
Instructions, assistance. Perhaps they could, if there's a way they could send a few of their knights to be a distraction. Something, anything, any assistance they can offer. I wouldn't ask them to outright attack these folk, but something that might help us get in. And an extra day might lend us the chance to find a guard or two outside the walls. Taladar is stuck on that. He wants to try and find more of these people outside, like the two that jumped us in the night.
What's your range on reading thoughts?
Self. What the fuck? One creature you can see within 30 feet.
How close does a boat get?
How close to what?
To the, like, if there's a person somewhere, like, if we floated down on a boat and didn't stop and just kept going, would we be within 30 feet of someone, possibly?
It's possible.
Oh, unsure how wide the river is.
The river is very wide. It is a major river.
Yeah, the problem with detect thoughts is it's only really good if you are having a conversation with somebody, because you can bring up topics and triggers that get them to think about things, and that's how you get them to reveal stuff.
Yeah, their thoughts, while they're just on patrol on the walls, are not necessarily going to be on, gee, I hope nobody discovers where I hid that, sack of gold, or etc., etc.
Oh, actually, yeah, no, I'm interested in that, though.
Hello,
Yeah,
Senpai,
no, but-
I see you here. It's eavesdropping.
But if we approach the gate and I read the thoughts of the gatekeeper, hopefully I would know what he's expecting.
We could go to the merchants and go up to the gatekeeper. He's going to give us a signal, and he's going to be thinking about what signal he needs to see.
I'm hoping that works. I don't know. Like, Taladar's he's cast the spell once, and it didn't give him very much, but it did give him a little bit.
I mean, you could try that even before you head back for the night, to try and approach the gate, see if the guy throws out the signal, etc.
Yeah, you've already burned the spell slot. You might as well try it now, if we're close enough.
I mean, if it's still within the hour, yeah. I mean, I could.
Yeah, we can retcon it, and yeah, that's fine.
Let's see. Disguise self is. Yeah, like I wouldn't have just dropped the disguise when we were done with the guy. I would have kept it for the whole hour. So. I guess I could try that.
Do you want to go with Moss or without Moss?
Up to you. I don't like. Are we just going to walk away? Yeah. Yeah. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's go. He just starts walking that way.
Okay, so you guys head up to the, back up towards the keep. You come within sight of it now. And as you make your way down the road slopes down slightly towards the shore and towards the gatehouse. And from the top of the wall, you can see that there are 2 guards patrolling, whereas previously there was only 1. And it looks like from the gatehouse itself, you can see 2 heads poke out. And before you get within 50 feet, a voice calls out to you. Oi, that's far enough! What is your business?
Well, before we get within 50 feet, we can't do it, then I'm going to turn around and walk away. Like, if they don't let me within spellcasting range, then this was pointless.
Sorry, what was your spellcasting range?
30 feet.
I'm hard of hearing. Can we come a bit closer?
Yeah,
Keep your hands where I can see them.
I'm going to keep walking until I'm within 30 feet of them.
What did he say?
I don't know. Friend, I'm sorry. We'll have to approach closer to hear you, and he'll hold his hands up. But yeah, I'm going to keep moving forward until they
you
either.
can see him sort of gesturing, like, yeah, okay, come on.
Yeah,
I see what Talador's doing. I hold my hands up as well.
Once we're within 30 feet.
I whispered to Talador, remember, we're not trying to get in. We just want to know the sign. We're not going to try to get in today. So give the wrong sign. Or don't give a sign.
Right now, there are verbal, somatic, and material components for this spell. I can't help it. They're gonna see me casting it. I'm hoping they don't recognize that I'm casting a spell. I'll just kind of adjust my pack and try and.
I can step in front of you when you're casting.
Yeah, I would say if Moss steps in front and does the talking while you're pretend rummaging in your pack, that's fine.
Sure.
And what is it you're casting?
I am casting Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
Concentration up to 1 minute. For the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast the spell and as an action on each turn until the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any one creature that you can see within 30 feet.
Okay.
You learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on its mind in that moment, and then you can shift to different creatures, and I can choose to probe deeper. Wisdom saving throw. If either way, whether they succeed or fail, they know that I'm pushing into their mind. So I'm not going to do that.
Surface thoughts, not, right? They can't.
Correct. Yeah, surface thoughts are free.
Yeah, so I would say within 30 feet is what looks like the same gate guard that you saw previously, as well as 2 additional guards. One of which has a javelin pointed out one of the murder holes, and the other appears to have an arrow nocked. What is your business? And while
sorry, very hard to say again, please.
What are you selling?
We're selling some foodstuffs and some weapons and some blankets, warm blankets.
And so the thoughts that you're getting while you cast the spell are, God, I hope some of them have booze.
And actually, I don't know that.
No, that's the primary thought that Talador gets from this guy. I could use a drink. I hope they have some booze.
Liquor. And liquor!
Whoa!
No, yes. We have some ale and whiskey.
Well, excellent. Well, throw up the sign and we'll see if we can get this gate open for you.
Sign? What sign?
The sign!
I didn't see a sign. Where's the sign?
They were supposed to tell any and all merchants in the area to use the goddamn sign. And so while he's saying this to you, you get an image in your head, Taladar, of a hand gesture that requires two hands making a triangle at the bottom with your fingers making a cross at the top.
Oh, okay, okay. Teladar is going to shout, who's they?
It doesn't matter if you don't know the goddamn sign. I can't let you in now. Bugger off.
I'll quietly whisper to Moss, I have the sign.
Ah, another night in the cold. Very well then. And start shambling off.
Yeah, I'll just kind of, wave disgustedly and turn and walk away.
You just hear the slam of the shuttered window closing.
Well, that seemed to work.
All right, regroup.
And when we get out of eyesight of the gate, I'll make sure that I show Moss the sign right away, so he's got it too in case anything happens to me.
Moss gonna clap Teller on the shoulder, nod about guide, and say, "Well done."
You as well. That was 2 for 2. Maybe somebody else can do the next thing. I feel my luck is about to run out.
All right, so we're heading back. We regroup.
Okay, I've posted it. Oh shit, it's a WebP. Hopefully you can see it. I posted it in Discord.
I
Are
don't
you
see
guys
it.
able to see it? No?
No, I don't see it yet.
God
I
damn it.
don't see anything posted.
Okay.
Before we send Savra back, I have a question.
Okay.
It's more of a game question. Is Aranor aware of how to fight shapeshifters and what's required to fight them?
Shapeshifters. What do you mean by shapeshifters?
So
You mean
obviously,
like a werebore?
yeah, like when we were fighting it, we weren't doing quite as much damage like we normally would. So
Make an Arcana check.
oh no.
Does that help? Can you see that one?
That looks like a gang sign.
Yeah. You're not really sure, Aranor. Are you, yeah. Oh,
Magic. What's
shapeshifter.
magic?
Yeah. Not really sure.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
you have no clue.
All right.
Good roll, though. Good roll.
So it sounds like they're lacking an ale. What if we were to ask the Knights of Feathergale for ale that's been spiked with something?
I mean, it's possible. Deebs, you said you wanted to ask something of Savra?
No, only if I knew how to deal with the werebore.
Oh.
Maybe she knows how.
It's possible you could ask
I
her.
asked, Savra,
Yes.
we encountered a shapeshifter in the keep. It was a man that transformed into a half boar. Have you encountered such a creature before?
Oh, not a boar, but bears and wolves, yes.
Interesting.
There's several varieties of were creatures out there.
Do they require special weaponry to attack them?
Typically, they are immune to a lot of things, or at least resistant. To my knowledge, magic typically goes through all sorts, and any silvered weapon will do a considerable amount of damage.
Okay. Are there any silver weapons back at the tower?
Oh, it's possible. Lord Commander might have something.
So what I was going to ask is her to bring back a silver weapon if there is one in the tower. That's
Okay.
That's what I was trying to find out. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just have a roll and see.
Hopefully a longsword.
Keep taking my glasses on, and then I can't read the dice.
Taking your glasses on.
Just shut up. I will roll a d100.
Oh.
Ah, yes, there is indeed a silvered weapon back there.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you ask her to go back and fetch something, she can easily do that.
Deep's got her fetching already.
Alpha male, man.
A laundry list of things we want Savra to potentially come back with.
She is much more interested in a Sigma male than an Alpha. But yeah, if you were to ask her, she could definitely
Yes.
go back and have a look. She's pretty sure somebody back home has a silvered weapon.
I'd greatly appreciate that, Savra, if you could bring back in case we do encounter that werebore again. I would be able to defend. Are we sending her back to what we talked about? Bri, Taladar, Tox, Starsha?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good idea.
Yep.
So you guys
so
have all
it's-
gathered back up at the camp then?
Yep.
I think to summarize, tell them what intel we've gained. The river pirates are working with the water cult, and we're continuing to investigate. But we've been slowed in our efforts, and if there's something they could do to help us, or if they thought that information was enough to take action, we eagerly await their word. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say, based on the observations that you guys made of the comings and goings along the river, talking to the gate guard, there's a fair amount of information that you can give her to take back. I didn't explain it at the time when you saw it, but when you're explaining to Savra what you've seen, the boats, she would ask you this larger boat with that seemed to have offloaded all of its cargo. What did the people look like? And I will need give me an intelligence check, all four of you.
Oh,
Not
dear.
Aranor.
Oh, okay.
Not who?
Not Aranor, he wasn't there.
He's
Just for
dummy. He's a
intelligence?
dummy anyway. Damn, Tox!
Damn.
Wait, that's investigation.
Still a 20.
Yeah, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I got oh god, it fell off my screen. Hang on. I got a 17.
Okay, so between the 17 and definitely with the 20, Tox, you were very keen on observing those individuals. You would be able to describe their garb. They were all wearing shades of brown. Dusty. They didn't look like fisher folk or river pirates. But you do notice that one of the guys in the back who seems to sort of be in charge, did have a symbol that you are very familiar with about his neck. It was a triangle with a small stick in the middle of it.
He's a sticky boy.
You know this symbol to be associated with the Earth cult, the Black Earth.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to remember which one it is. All of my notes are on my computer at home. Yeah, so triangle with the stick is Earth, and then what was the other one? We've seen two others, right?
Hold on,
Yes.
I'll tell you.
Oh, you've got them? Oh, nice.
I've got notes.
The air one is, well, the other one we've seen is upside down triangle with a kind of a V on top.
Right,
Kind of
right.
like an upside down arrow. Actually, I can put it into.
And then there's the one we saw at the Necromancer's Cave that we haven't identified yet.
Correct. Yeah, the one on the left is Earth, and the one on the right is air.
Okay.
Starsha, while everyone is talking about these hand signals and these symbols, make an intelligence check.
That did not turn out well for me.
Well,
let us
maybe it
say.
will be better this time. I'm looking for anything over a 10.
Oh,
Good job.
Goody.
You get a tickle in the back of your head looking at these symbols. You've seen symbols that look like this before. In fact, you recall looking at your map the last time a bunch of symbols came into a conversation. You seem to remember that your map contains a great deal of symbols on it. And if you were to pull it out, you would see the Earth symbol and this air symbol in two of the corners of your map. There are two other corners of the map that contain symbols. You've not seen either one of them before, but they do seem to share similar properties with the two symbols you know. With that intelligence check, I would say that you could surmise that these other two symbols most likely
There are more cults.
correspond to additional cults.
What do we have so far? Earth and what?
You have earth and air.
Earth and air. So there might be water. Could the fourth one be?
Well, you think based on the, I'm assuming that Taladar explains this hand signal that he saw in this guy's head. And that, picturing this symbol and the way that Taladar is explaining it and describing it to you, looks an awful lot like a symbol in one of the other corners of the map. I can just bring it up.
Interesting. So they're having the merchants make a cult symbol in order to enter.
You think that this symbol that is in one of the corners of your map that you have not seen before, but seems to match the other symbols and it almost fits the hand signal that Taladar had discovered. It seems to be the symbol that these guys, these river folk at Riverguard Keep, seem to be using.
I'm gonna go ahead and share this with the group.
Okay.
I'll unroll my map, and
So this is the first time that you guys are seeing this map of hers. It is in Dwarven, but it doesn't have any place names on it, so it is impossible to pinpoint where the location is. And the map does seem to have 4 distinct symbols in each of its 4 corners.
Does anybody here speak Dwarvish?
No. Not me, anyways.
Nope, not me.
So sorry. The we can't tell where these symbols are. There's no geography on the map. Like, what does the map look like?
It is a map of a location, seems to have several rooms, pathways, hallways, but without a location to begin with, or even cardinal directions, you don't know where this is.
Okay, so it's a map of a building, compound, cave system, something. It's not an overland map of like a area. Okay.
but as far as I know, it is somewhere in the, what is that valley called?
The Desserin Valley.
Yes.
So I Starship. What is this map? What is it for? Where did you come by it?
I am not sure where it is. That is what I'm trying to find out.
But how did you come by it?
That's not important. I mean, it's up to you. You can tell them if you want.
Yeah, I'll reveal my sources.
So anyway, you share the map with the others. You can all see now that there is clearly 4 different symbols on it.
What's the 4th symbol?
The 4th symbol looks like that. It is the only one that doesn't seem to have a triangle in it, although a triangle can be drawn with the 4 sticks that you see. I believe you are correct, Lucid.
So do you know what this map is supposed to be a map to?
No.
Just got a treasure map.
It seems to me like it would be an underground map.
Everybody make a history check for me.
$16.
Aranor, you have probably paid the most attention in class. Growing up where you did, hearing stories. And I'm pretty sure some of the others have heard tales as well of the Desserin Valley and what used to be here thousands of years ago. You know that dwarves settled this area a long, long time ago. And that they haven't been here in a very long time, but that they dug and delved and built all over the Desserin Valley. Some locations that you have seen have indications of maybe once being dwarven. Think specifically of the underground sort of complex beneath the town. Had a dwarven statue. And there was something else I thought. That might be the only thing. But you, more than the others, would know that yes, the dwarves settled here a long time ago. And Starsha says that this map is supposedly leads to a location somewhere in the Desserin Valley, and it seems to be in Dwarvish. It makes sense. That seems to line up.
All right. I explained that to the group.
So you guys have gathered together. You're going to ask Savra to fly back home and look for a silver weapon and relay the information that you've given her.
Yes.
And sorry, also, if we could get a cask of spiked alcohol with a sleeping agent, it might be a long stretch, but is there anything else we want? We should put all requests together.
And she says, I will do my best. I'm not sure if we have anything like that. The ale, yes, but I will do my best. Anything else before I head out?
I think that's it. Thank you, Savra.
I will be off then. Because it's getting dark, I probably won't be able to return until at least dawn.
That's fine. Be safe.
And she moves away from the little camp a little ways, and her hippogriff unfurls his wings and launches himself into the air.
Before Sever goes, we should tell her we're going to move our camp to a different spot where we're not. We got caught last
She's
night.
long gone. She's a speck in the sky. You do notice that 2 of the other hippogriffs follow behind her. The hippogriff that Tox seems to have been riding stays behind. It appears it has grown quite attached to the frog.
I got a bird, you guys don't.
And I thought I had a deft hand with animals.
Is there anything else that you guys want to do? The sun is going down now. It will be dark before long.
I wouldn't mind, going for an evening stroll, a good distance away from the keep, but within visual range, just to see if there's any patrols, see if there's anything worth seeing, primarily on the land side.
Okay. I mean, where you guys currently have your camp set up is about half an hour away from the keep. You can't see it from where you are. But if you wanted to move closer, you could.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just walk to the keep and back, I guess. Walk to the keep, watch for a bit, walk back.
Are you going by yourself?
I would tell the group what I plan to do and leave it open-ended if any of them wanted to come with. But I wouldn't specifically ask for,
Okay. Is anybody going with him?
There's only the one road leading to the keep, and then it just turns around, right? There's nothing like a road to the north.
No, it
according to
doesn't
the map?
continue on as far as you can tell. The cliffs along the river become higher, so you don't imagine that there's too much north of here along the riverbank.
What is this region we're in? Is this the Desarin, Desarin Valley?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're near the banks of the Desarin River.
And does the Desarin Valley refer to just this little area, or is it like the entire length of the river? You know, hundreds of miles.
It is hundreds of miles. Let me just pull up the big map. I'll put you guys on it.
Yeah, I just couldn't recall if it was you know, just this area where the river passes through the mountain range, or if it was, you know, much more. Oh, okay. And we're just
where
at
the D&D marker is where your camp is.
Right.
Farther to the north and the east, before you get too much into the quite hilly area of the Sumber Hills, is where Riverguard Keep is. Roughly... Of course I can't ping it. Roughly there.
If Taladar is going to go on that excursion, I'm going. All right.
Poor Bri.
Great. Moss is going to get me sick.
No,
I'm going to shoot a giant wolf spider and just escort him.
He's just going to get you noticed with his loud coughing.
I will stealthily accompany him, and as far as I know, spiders don't have coughs.
No, they just bite.
Yeah,
So
like
Taladar,
I'm not trying to make too much of it. I just wanted to have one more walk over that way and see if we can see anything new or different, and keeping an eye out for any patrols.
Okay, so you two head off. Moss is going to turn himself into a giant spider to accompany you. Both of you give me perception checks. Moss, you give me the spider's perception.
I thought he gave the higher of the spider or myself, which gives me.
Do you have night vision?
The
Or dark
spider
vision?
does.
Does
The
Moss?
spider has.
Should it be
Moss-
multiplied since he has more eyes now?
No.
Dark vision is 60 feet and blind sight to 10 feet in spider form.
So
But then
roll
you have to
perception
add
as
the
the
extra
spider.
eyes.
No, you don't.
But you do.
How do I roll perception as a spider?
Should be able to bring it up in D&D Beyond as a stat block for a giant spider.
So I got that.
And then it should have a perception.
And then you multiply it by 3.
I will turn this car around, Starsha.
Listen,
What's a car?
Oh, there it is.
she meant this cart.
I will turn this cart around, Starsha.
You don't need to. Probably can see 3 times as well. You don't have to get closer.
Okay, so 13 for Moss. And Taladar, what is your perception?
Oh, sorry. I think I rolled a 10. Yes, I rolled a 10.
Okay. The sun has only just recently gone down, so it's not super dark yet. You know, the light is fading in the west. And from there the sky sort of darkens into inky blues. The moon is rising, so there is enough light dimly to see by. And you make your way along the road. Are you keeping to the road?
I'm stealthily near Taladar, but not right beside him. cut off the
Yeah,
road?
you know what? I will stick to the road, and I will also disguise self. Just as that same merchant again.
Okay. Are you actually stealthing this time, Moss?
Yeah, that's right. I thought I said it. Yes, I'm stealthing.
Yes.
Absolutely
Roll
stealthing.
me a stealth check for the spider.
Oh, that's not great.
You're a spider.
He's a big spider. Yeah, you guys make your way along. The road is in good enough condition. You don't have too much trouble. Moss is sort of off the side of the road a little bit, maybe keeping to the grasses, trying to stay hidden. Taladar, what are you disguised as?
Just that same merchant.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Moss is hidden to me. I think my passive perception is like fucking 9 or something. Yep, it's 9. Yeah, and I'll just I'll get within eyesight of the keep, just looking around for guards, patrols, anyone outside the walls, and if I don't see anyone and it's getting dark, I'll just turn around and head back.
Yeah, I mean, it is darkening. You guys haven't been gone for that long, but you... who rolled the higher perception?
Moss.
Moss did. 13. Okay. Moss, you're a little bit farther away from the road than Taladar is. You do hear a noise. Coming from the grass. A little bit farther down the road. Towards the keep.
Shit. I'm gonna stop, I guess.
Okay.
Kind of just try to take cover.
Yeah, you hunch your body down into the grass. Taladar, unaware of what's going on, continues to walk down the road.
Can I throw a rock his way?
Spiders can't throw rocks.
Can I kick a rock his way?
Make an athletics check with the spider's stats.
He doesn't have athletics. Is that just straight
Just strength.
strength?
Yeah, you managed to kick some pebbles out on the road, and it's enough of them that it does make a bit of a clatter. Taladar, make a perception check.
That is a natural 1 for a total of 0.
He does not hear it, and continues to walk down the road. As he gets farther down the road, you realize that the sound is approaching Taladar. I will need both of you to roll for initiative as soon as I bring up the tracker. Don't roll it yet.
Well, I'm gonna roll mine. I'll just have to tell you what it is.
Uh-huh.
It is a 15.
Okay.
Just tell me when you want me to roll.
You can roll now. Just make sure that you click on your dude.
I don't see my dude. But I rolled a 9.
You do not see your dude. It's because I don't have the players moved. Hang on. There you go.
Oh shit, it's that same road again.
Shut up. How many night road maps do you need?
Man, this D&D session is low budget.
all the adjustments been towards the good things.
Friggin' Taladar and Moss. Look at these guys. Look at these jokers.
Out of game, I think I don't want to hold up the entire group. Like, let's make this quick, right? You know, I don't know if we want to try to run away or.
Yeah, so what you see now, slinking through the grass, approaching Taladar, who's ahead of you. I haven't thrown up your spider icon, but just pretend you're a spider. You see 3 of the following.
Are they cute, cuddly kittens?
They are not.
Maybe baby Dumbo rats? Otters? Are they otters?
Nope.
Can otters survive in the forest?
Sure. Are 3 figures. Gaunt, pale under the moonlight. All of them looking towards Taladar. Moving low to the ground. Okay, and Taladar, what did you say you got?
For initiative, 15.
And Moss, sorry, what did you get?
I got 9.
Okay. Taladar, you are going to be up first. At this point, you can now hear what Moss had heard when he stopped. There are 3 forms moving through the grass towards you.
Can I make some sort of check to identify them?
Yeah. Give me an investigation.
Right. Not great. A 13.
These look similar to things that you saw in the Necromancer's Cave. They don't quite appear as rotted. You think they are some sort of undead.
Right. Well, Do I see Moss behind me, or is he still...
Moss is still a spider in the grass who is hiding.
Okay. I'm just going to... not too loudly, just say... Moss, if you're there and you can hear me, I don't see any reason to fight these things. I'm running, and I'm just going to turn around and run. I will use my action to dash, and then move my full movement for a total of 60 feet of movement.
Okay.
And actually, you know what? I will, before I do that, I will bonus action activate Blade Song. So that increases my movement speed by 10 feet. So I will actually move a total of 80 feet.
Okay.
So Taladar draws his blade and starts whipping it about him, and immediately turns and runs.
Moving south down the road back past where you think Moss might be.
Yes.
Back the way you came.
80 feet will get you off this map. That brings us to one of these creatures. It had sniffed the air and spotted you, but his movement isn't as good as yours. Moss, it is your turn.
I have 40 movement speed as a spider. Can I use my movement and then action for bonus movement for 80 feet?
Absolutely.
Then I am yeeting out of there just like Tador and covering 80 feet.
Okay. Yeah, so without dragging this on, within a matter of moves, you guys have moved far enough out of their range that they seem to have lost you. If they ever even knew where Moss was.
Skinny elf swinging a sword and a spider just Scooby-Doo running across the countryside.
Back to camp.
And they were never seen again.
Yeah, so you head back to camp. Unfortunately, you didn't make it too close to the keep, so you couldn't see anything. But them's the that's not the right map, is it? Yes.
Yeah, that's map.
Yeah, them's the dangers of traveling the roads at night. You head back to camp, having learned nothing. We can speed through the night, if you'd like, and say that you guys, could take watches, etc. What would you like to do?
Yep.
Resting.
Let's long rest.
So you guys bed down for your long rests. Are you taking watches?
Absolutely.
I'll take first watch.
I'll take second, I guess.
Third?
Okay. We only need 3 watches, so that's good. So you all bed down except for Aranor and prepare for a night's rest.
Make some good berries before I go to bed.
Okay. Aranor, give me a perception check. The night is quiet. There's a bit of a breeze, and it's only a partly cloudy sky, so there's a lot of moonlight filtering down, keeping things lit enough for you to at least dimly see by. Other than maybe some baying of wolves and the occasional owl, you don't hear much on your watch.
All right.
You wake Moss for his turn at the watch.
Get up, Moss.
I get up. Take my turn.
Give me a perception check. Things seem to be quiet. 15 minutes after Aranor hits the hay, you can hear some light snoring. It's quiet coming from the rest. Till you see a couple of your compatriots tossing and turning a bit, as if having a bad dream. Starsha,
I'm going to... Oh,
you are dreaming.
I am.
You are. You are
I didn't
dreaming
think I
of...
slept.
While you're trancing.
Oh, okay. It's a
And-
lucid dream.
Trances and memories sort of go hand in hand. And so while You might be thinking of your past, the child you left behind. Your dreams or thoughts turn darker. You begin to see shadows moving in the darkness. And the feeling of heat, flames, licking at your skin, growing in intensity, until you feel like you're surrounded by it. And you are startled out of your trance.
Hmm.
And even after waking and shaking from this dream, vision, you feel like your skin feels hot to the touch, as if you've been standing beside a roaring bonfire for too long. Across the camp, snuggled up tight in his blanket, Tox's small form is also tossing and turning. Tox, you are dreaming. You are dreaming of performing. Maybe partly from memories of your time spent with the circus. Essentially the only life you've ever known. You dream of jumping from top ropes, wrestling rowdy patrons of the circus, carousing with your friends. Until you go to move, and you feel sluggish, like your feet are sinking in mud. And it becomes hard to move. You can't pull your feet free, and you're sinking deeper down to your knees, as if the earth itself is grasping you. It pulls you farther down up to your waist, and you struggle. And the more you struggle, the more it seems to grip you, moving up, swallowing you up to your neck. And just as it's got you in its grasp and is about to pull you fully under the earth, you start yourself awake.
Ah!
There it is. It's waiting. Come on.
Moss, you being on alert and on watch, notice two of your friends seem to come startling awake at almost the exact same time.
I'm gonna check on them and really keep an eye. Like, well, again, look around the camp. Is there anything out there that's causing disturbance?
Roll another perception check.
Bloody hell!
There doesn't seem to be anything. It's a quiet night. Things seem calm. You don't notice anything.
Do
I tell them they
notice
both woke up at
anything?
the same time, in a fright.
Starsha, you sit up and you listen. And at first, you don't think there's anything. You hear some bugs chittering. You hear a bit of a breeze in the grass, in the trees. And you think just for a minute you might hear whispering on the wind. Chanting, maybe? And then it's gone.
Can I tell what direction it came from?
It didn't seem to have a direction. It's like it was all around you. Or perhaps you didn't hear it at all. Perhaps it was in your head.
Did y'all hear this?
Tox, you
Hear
come out
what?
of your sleeping roll. You didn't hear nothing.
I was in the sand, not in the clouds.
I can't hear anything over the sound of you all speaking.
In the background behind all of this, you can hear Aranor lightly snoring.
I'm comfy.
I'm gonna kick the others awake.
You what?
Well, I'm gonna wake up the others. Just
The only one who's
We-
not awake
s-
is Aranor.
all right. Well, I'm gonna wake Aranor and just check on him and see if he's kicking, tossing, turning, whichever.
You approach him. He seems to be sleeping soundly.
Wake him up anyways.
What? What the? I just went to sleep.
Have
What's
some
happening?
strange going on. So just wanted to check on you. You wake up in case something happens.
Aranor, give me a perception check.
Oh dear.
You sit up, you listen. You hear the sounds of being outside at night. Bugs, whirring. Grasses rustling. Breeze in the trees. Nothing out of the ordinary.
I don't hear anything.
What do we do? Do we go back to bed or do we?
I heard like chanting, but it stopped.
Was
I
it,
assume we haven't gotten back any spell slots or anything like that yet. Or
Nope.
haven't had enough rest.
was there direction, Starsha?
No, it seemed to be all around us.
All right. I'm going to stand up and just kind of look in a random direction and do a divine sense.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good idea.
If they're behind cover, if there is anything out there and they're behind cover, I won't sense them. But just
No, you take a moment and center yourself. Close your eyes, concentrate. When you open your eyes, they sort of glow almost with divine light. And you take some time to scan your surroundings, look around your camp. You don't pick anything up.
I'm going to detect magic.
Yeah, you take some time, cast Detect Magic. And you as well, sort of look around. Spread your senses out. And other than maybe a handful of magic items on your friends, you don't sense anything.
I don't know, Moss. I don't see anything or sense anything.
Nor did I. The question is, do we go back to sleep or do we? What do we do?
I'm going to cast my last second level spell slot, Detect Thoughts. You can use the spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see. When you cast the spell, or as your action during the duration, you can search for thoughts within 30 feet of you. The spell can penetrate barriers, but 2 feet of rock, 2 inches of any metal other than lead, or a thin sheet of lead blocks you. You can't detect a creature with an intelligence of 3 or lower, or one that doesn't speak any language. So they have to be intelligent and speak.
Mhm.
But
So,
also within 30 feet. I don't think they were within 30 feet.
why don't we have enough time with all these spells that they're up for a little while? Why don't we take a circuit of the
Yeah.
immediate area?
Yeah, you can all, with your various magics and looking around, listening. Taladar, other than your friends, you are not picking up any thoughts at all. There doesn't seem to be any magic that doesn't come from any of your companions. There is no celestial fiend fae. There seems to be nothing. It seems to be a still and quiet night.
No, Taladar is going to use 6 of his 10 actions to scan the area as he sort of walks a circle around the camp. Then he's going to use the last 4 actions of the 1 minute to detect surface thoughts of his companions, just because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, so you wander around, you have a look, and you scan.
You don't. Nobody has to tell me what they are. It's just making a point that he can do it, so he will.
Yeah, and because I don't control any of the players, I couldn't begin to tell you what it is you're picking up.
I'm thinking of Savra naked.
Yeah, of course you are.
Tox is thinking of needing water.
Is there a save on this?
No, you don't know what's happening.
Moss is thinking that this is the second night in a row on my watch. I am letting everyone down.
Is Starsha thinking of anything?
Starsha's focusing and trying to figure out where the voices came from.
Okay. And the boogeyman behind the tree to your left is thinking, I bet these guys taste great. I'm kidding. Are you guys just going to settle back down to sleep? It seems like nothing is going on. There's nothing out there.
Moss can shrug. I don't know what to make of this. Clearly something odd happened.
It's a nightmare, Moss.
All right, back to sleep then.
So you guys settle back down. Moss resumes the remainder of his watch. Some of you might have a little bit more difficulty falling asleep again. The elves might have a little bit more difficulty getting back into a trance state of mind. But eventually you do all sleep. The change in watch happens sometime later on. Moss, you would wake Taladar for his watch. Taladar, roll me a perception check.
Oh, it's a good one. It's an 8.
Well, like previously in the night, there doesn't seem to be anything. After some time, the first hints of light begin to grow in the east. Small birds begin to make their presence known. And as the sun climbs higher into the sky, the night passes uneventfully. You guys can go ahead and push your long rest buttons. And I am going to take a 5-6 minute break here.
Alrighty.
You guys, when we come back, can decide how you're going to proceed with the day.
I'll be back.
Just for a little while. I gave him the link to the YouTube. I'm here.
Lined up already? What are you looking at?
I'm thinking, so you might want to send 2 people in, so I'm thinking enhance ability. I'm wondering if there's a way we can use augury to divine some information, and then I'm going to keep moonbeam and spike growth.
Yeah, the problem with augury is augury can't tell you if we're gonna fuck it up or not.
No, but maybe it'll just hint on whether the idea is sound or not. If Darkstar deems the idea to be a bad idea because of reasons you only know, then I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching here, but
I have almost no offensive spells lined up whatsoever. Minor illusion to whip up something to hide inside of quickly. Charm person, disguise self, shield in case we get in a fight and I have to defend myself. Detect thoughts, enhance ability, earthing grasp, misty step, and suggestion.
do we have to select spells before Sever comes back, or can we do it after Sever comes back?
Sorry, what was that?
Can we select spells after Sever comes back, or do we have to do it immediately before Sever comes back?
I mean, ideally, you do it first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Are we ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you guys all wake up not long after dawn. It was an uncomfortable night, bit of weirdness going on. And you're just in the process of, packing your bedrolls and stuff up. Maybe getting some tea or breakfast going. When the telltale sign of wings, large wings, as you all looking to the northwest, as Savra approaches on her hippogriff. She lands close by and heads over to you. Well, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news, we did have some silvered weapons. And she proceeds to pull from her back a spear with a gleaming silver tip. And a hand axe, which is also silvered. It's the best that we could do. These were the best options available. I'm sorry, it couldn't be a longsword, but there just wasn't one.
I appreciate it. I'll take the hand axe.
I did bring a cask of ale. Unfortunately, we have no alchemists per se. There's no way to doctor this up and make it tainted. We could poison it, maybe. And she sort of looks to Tox.
Appreciate the.
Don't think my poison is going to accomplish the goal.
And other than that, most of the knights are out on patrol. There was a bit of a skirmish yesterday in the afternoon to the north of the tower. Handful of our knights are injured. We lost one of our hippogriffs and one of the vultures.
What was the skirmish with?
Earth cultists, it looks like.
Were there any additional instructions from the commander?
No, and he seems rather preoccupied with these losses. His instructions were just to
find out what's going on at this keep, see if this earth cult is using these waterways at all. That's about it. Sorry I couldn't bring more help.
So now we decide, do we watch on the outside or we try to pass our way in? We might be able to schedule those merchants to do that. We have a cask of ale to sell. So was it ale or whatever? What was it?
It's ale.
Maybe whoever's there could sell the ale, and along the way ask what they're bartering. Topic of people might come up.
How big is a cask of ale?
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
It's about the size, the size of like a 4, well, you wouldn't know, 4 liter.
Like a pony cake.
Gallon.
Yeah, like a gallon of milk, but double that. So like it's 2.5 gallons.
10 liters.
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering how someone's going to have to carry this, because we don't have animals unless you're going to walk up with a hippogriff. If you're wanting to try to sell this.
I could change into a horse. Maybe we could build a small wagon.
What are you going to build a small wagon out of?
I don't know.
Wagon stuff? Come on.
Wagon stuff?
There's not a
Sticks.
whole lot of trees in the area.
Sticks
Or-
and
or-
vines.
Am I
I mean,
able
yeah.
to? Am I able to carry it? Being a large fur bowl, because that.
Yeah,
totally
I mean,
wobbly?
it's, think of 10 liters. Like, I can easily carry 2 jugs of milk. That's 8 liters right there.
Strap
It's
it on
not super
someone's
heavy,
back.
it's just awkward.
Well, I equipped the hand axe. And
Okay.
someone else should use the spears. And can anyone use a spear?
I can use a spear, but I'm not a fan of such weapons. It's much like a quarterstaff.
Well, this is in case we encounter that wereboar.
Is a spear a simple weapon?
I believe so.
I mean, it's under our weapon proficiencies, right? Like I've got club, dagger, blah blah blah, spear at the end.
No, I'm pretty sure spear is a simple weapon.
Starsha, can you not use a spear?
I don't think
Starsha.
I can.
Starsha has a magical dagger.
That's true. No, I'll take it if no one else can use it. Talks, can you use it?
No, I'll take it.
So Tox takes the overly large spear in his hands. It is well balanced, though.
Okay, so what's the plan? What do you guys want to do here?
Well, we have the ability to disguise ourselves. We have the sign to gain entry. We have the ale to buy favor.
What's the plan once you get inside? Gather information?
Avoid their leader. That's for certain.
You want to know if there are people, slaves inside, or if they're not inside, where they're being taken. Or both.
I guess search the rooms, find out what's in the parts of the keep we haven't explored, and look for these slaves, captives, some signs of them somewhere. Isolate someone and ask them questions, read their mind, charm them into telling us what we want to hear. I'm just throwing ideas out there. Anyone else?
I think we can send 2, maybe 3 people in to do that. I can become a spider, a regular spider, and maybe scout some other areas.
So we're looking for information. If you go in alone and you get caught, that's not going to work well for the rest of us.
Agreed.
So if you're going in as a spider, you should stay with the other person who's going in. There's a better chance that 2 of you can escape than 1.
Well, I think if I go in as a spider, we could send 2 others in.
If things go poorly, I do intend to leave rather quickly. I have the ability to teleport. Short distances, but a couple of times. Probably enough to get me to the wall and over.
I have the ability to turn momentarily invisible, and I might be able to get away with that.
I believe the plan was Starsha was going to go in. And some type of disguise. If you're going to try to go in the front acting as a merchant.
Starsha, what say you?
I guess I could.
So
Once I'm
what
in,
is
I'll
the
see my wares though. What do we have?
you want to go disguised as a merchant? Is that the plan?
That's the suggestion.
So Starsha's going to, in disguise, go up to the front gate with Moss as a spider with her.
I'm not sure about the spider yet. I mean, I would say someone else, either Tallador or Tox, could go up with her. Then we could decide whether I go along as a spider as well.
Yeah, I thought Starsha and I were going because we can disguise ourselves.
Would you like me to come as a spider?
I think as many of us as possible should come.
All right, then I'll go with him as well.
I just don't have a way for the other two to. Tox, would you fit in my pack?
How big's your pack?
Not that big, probably.
I'm 2'9" and I weigh 25 pounds.
Oh, well, then I will leave it up to the DM. I have a.
Does somebody have a bag of holding?
I have a backpack. I can empty its contents, and if Tox fits in it, and you allowed it, I would cast Disguise Self to look like a merchant with a heavily laden pack.
The
Yeah,
only
if you're
problem
going to
is
do that,
if they ask about what's in the pack, or they ask you to show what's in the pack. Surprise! It's Brog. And I can't do much while in the pack other than weigh you down.
All right.
mean,
You
I
know what?
could use a minor illusion and make you look like Booze.
I mean, I don't do silly D&D very well, but I do have 2 large pieces of drapery from the Necromancer's Lair. We could fashion 8-foot tall robes, and you could stand on my shoulders.
yeah, or Starsha said she can, use minor illusion and make you look like a bunch of bottles of booze.
Or wrap you in the cloth, like make it seem like the cloth is.
Yeah, I can probably hide under the cloth if.
And what are you selling? Oh, I have some slimy draperies.
Yeah, it's nice purple draperies.
Yeah, no, I was just going through my pack, seeing if there's, seeing what we have that we could use as potential wares. I've got that Scroll of Beast Bond that I can't use, and the drapery, and that's kind of basically it.
Well, you've got a big cask of ale.
Yeah, the big cask of ale, but I don't really have anything else that's valuable or that they would want other than a couple of daggers that I'd rather not part with. But if I use them as props.
Well, and I mean, between the lot of you, you haven't been able to cash in a lot of gemstones, so you've got a bunch of those laying around.
No, I thought we did cash those into gold.
I have at least 1 moonstone. I think we had some opals recently that we hadn't cashed.
Yeah, I don't think you've cashed anything in since you've left Red Larch.
Okay, so we got some sort of gems as well.
Okay, so you've got some merchant goods, some merchandise. You're gonna
Right,
stick Tox in the backpack and cover him with purple draperies.
I'll empty out my backpack and stash its contents in the woods as best I can. And
Winter still needs to carry the cask. Is Starsha able to carry the cask on her back or something?
Yeah, I mean, you could rig up some sort of strapping so that she could carry it on her back with some ropes. It's, like I said,
Okay.
it's not overly heavy. It's just slightly awkward.
Okay.
Why, instead of turning into a spider or whatever, don't you turn into a mule, a horse?
I could,
Some
but
sort
then
of
I'm stuck
animal.
out, wherever that is, and I can't explore, like, look in windows. Like spiders, I can climb around, get to, I can purvey everything, get onto windowsills and get a good scouting.
It's very hard to fit a door under a door crack. A horse under a door crack.
So I can do that, but it just means that we might get less information.
It's been half hour. Let's just make a decision and go with it.
Agreed.
Okay, so Moss is going spider form, the 2 elves are going in disguise, and Tox is going in the backpack. Aranor, what are you doing?
There's not much I can do unless I try and come in from the water side and just kind of hang out there in case of if somebody wants to send some kind of alert or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you could do
Can you
that.
cloud ride help as a distress signal?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean that's what I'll do then.
Okay.
To speed things up, I'll try and enter as quietly as I can on the riverside and just
Alright.
and just kind of hang out waiting for if help's needed.
Okay, so let's go with the majority of the group first.
Yep.
You guys get set up. You're disguising yourself as a couple of merchants, yeah?
Yes.
Yes. Just spending that spell slot now. That's good for an hour.
Yeah, so you guys make your way down the road from not far from your campsite. You're in disguise. Once you see, I would imagine, Moss, you're going to turn into a spider not long before you get to where the keep could see you to maximize your time.
Mhm.
And you're going with tiny spider form, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So you guys head up towards the front gate, and before you can get closer than 40 feet, a voice calls out, "That's far enough! State your business." He's talking to the 2 elves that are in disguise traveling on the road. You there, woman, what are you doing?
We're merchants, and we are wondering if y'all might be interested in some of our fine liquors.
Oh, liquors! We're always interested in liquors. He sort of looks to his buddies on the side. Well, show me the sign then.
Taladar will hold his hands up in the sign that he knows from the man's memory.
Open the gate! You hear him call down. And the gate begins to slowly creak open. And you guys are invited in. While this is happening, Aranor, I need you to make a perception check first. Okay. So after watching for a little bit, you've split off from your friends before they headed towards the keep, and very carefully made your way around to the shore side of the keep. And after watching the patrols on the walls, keeping an eye out for movements inside, what little you can see, you pick what you think is the most opportune moment to carefully slip into the water. You sink down into the soft mud of the riverbank, and you are quite heavy. You sink down to your knees, it climbs up to your thighs, and soon it is about waist deep. It doesn't seem to get too much deeper. And as you are about to round the edge of the southernmost tower, I need you to give me a stealth check.
Oh no.
Rip.
You're
Dis-
trying to
Disadvantage.
Sneak in. Yeah.
What do I hold? Let's see.
Well, you're trying to minimize your movements, and it is awkward in the water, and you feel heavy. Your shield, you've, I imagine, strapped it to your back so you have your hands free. You're making your way as slowly and quietly as you can, and it is a struggle. But luckily, the guards just don't seem to be looking your way. Or they rolled really shitty. Maybe they are hungover. I don't know. But you make it to the chain that seems to block the access to this little grotto, this little sheltered cove. Where are you going from here? Because you have currently made it, I'd say.
Can you go back to the map?
Oh, I haven't put you on it. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you're about here.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna continue around that edge and try and make it to that bush.
Okay.
Aaron always trying to make it to the bush.
Yep.
God damn it.
Got him.
Oops. Didn't mean to do that.
Because your perception was high, I'll say you can wait at the chain. You're looking now because you can see the beach, the landing where the boats are pulled up, and you can see into a darkened tunnel mouth where this water seems to flow. There's another large boat in here, sheltered in the cove, and the water, it gets shallower now as you move towards the inner side of the tower. And you slowly and carefully make your way up, and you get to those bushes.
Okay, I try and conceal myself the best I can.
Okay, roll me another stealth.
How do I do disadvantage again? What do I hold down?
Control? Dark, can you ping where he's at on the map? It's very small on my iPad. I just want to get my bearings. Thank you.
Okay, 11. That's more than 50%. So you think you have secured yourself in this large bush fairly well. You are sopping wet. It's a little heavy and it's definitely uncomfortable. But for now, you think you're hidden.
All right.
So we'll go back to the other four, who have now made their way into the gatehouse.
So in spider form, I'm just gonna crawl and try to scout windows, up walls, wherever where I'm near. Just look inside the buildings as much as possible to determine what's inside.
Okay.
I.e., reveal the map.
Okay. The two of you, the two elves, are standing just inside the gatehouse. There is a guard there, and Holger also comes down from up above. And says, "Well then, what have you got for us?"
Can I
Sort
get
of
tasty
rubbing
now?
his hands together in anticipation of some good booze.
Starsha, it's your time to shine.
Alright, I'm opening the bag and using minor illusion,
Okay.
making it look like it's only the finest.
Okay. Holger sort of steps forward and peers inside the bag. He can see... Let me just make a roll. He's thick as a post. He sees a couple of small bottles of rum, a nice bottle of wine, and what looks like some very nice purple fabric. What about that keg Boyo's got there?
The keg of the finest ale from the tallest peaks to the west, Dwarven Brew.
Boy, that be some good brew.
Do you want a deception check on that, or is that?
Do you know what's in the keg? She told you it was ale.
Yeah, that's all I know. I'm just trying to embellish it a little bit to make it sound good.
You're a merchant. Merchants embellish all the time. It's understood.
Yeah, give me a deception. Or persuasion, whatever you like.
What do we got here? Hey, 18.
Oh, yeah, no, Dwarven brew, it'd be good. So I hear.
Well, we don't have we don't have much. It's been rough lately traveling these roads. But the ale is yours for the drinking if the price is right, and I have some linens here of fine quality, rumored to have been taken from a necromancer's lair. They're steeped in dark energies,
What do
and he
I
kind
have
of
need of fabrics for?
he kind of waves his his hands with a flourish. Kind of like bullshittingly. He knows that they're not buying it, but that's kind of part of the act.
Screw the fabrics, I don't need that. How much you want for the ale?
Shit, Talder just looks at Starsha. He has no idea how much a keg of ale should go for.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Name your price, sir.
Well, if I'm naming the price, it's gonna be free.
Well, how about we call it 10 gold, and we each have a cup with you.
How about 5 gold and I don't slit your bleeding throat?
He'll just look at Starsha and shrug. Fair deal?
750.
Aye, she's a shrewd one.
That she is.
6 gold and that's the best I can do.
$650.
Hummingbird, hang on. Sorry.
Is it gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
650. You drive a hard bargain, you do, miss.
Listen, we
Fish-
can't just give it away.
He fishes around in his pockets and he hands over 6 gold, 50 silver.
Pleasure making business.
Right, this is going into my personal stash. I ain't sharing it with you lot. Moss, while this is going on, what are you doing?
Revealing the map.
Okay, where you go?
I'll start with the, nearby, the guardhouse, the long hall. The buildings immediately around us. Can I see any of them?
So immediately across from the gatehouse is a long building You know that the roof is damaged. You've looked through it in cat form. And I will reveal that.
Cutting to the chase, yeah, I basically want to reveal things. If that is acceptable to do so.
This room seems to be unoccupied. It looks like it was maybe stables at one point. But seeing as there's not really any horses or anything around, they don't seem to have use for it. And so this has not even begun to be touched when it comes to repairs.
How about the towers to the southwest here, like the entrance? Can I see inside those?
Slipping under the door to the guard tower.
And I can climb walls too, right?
Yep. You see in this room a couple sets of bunk beds, a couple of barrels full of spears, a couple of bows in racks.
Yeah, not interesting.
And you also see, a couple of guards in.
Okay, I'm counting the guards. First floor, second floor, the other side of the black space there. I like to place everyone down. I think we need to count at the end.
Yeah, so you see 2 guards in here. There are stairs that go up, but let's keep you on the main floor for now.
I'm trying to play this quick, so we don't spend a lot of time RPing this.
To the north of the long building, while Starsha and Taladar are conversing, you make your way into the building at the head of this long hall. One room you can see into looks like it is living quarters, guards quarters maybe. There are several people currently inside.
Sorry, which one are we looking at? The middle?
I'm trying to uncover it here.
Okay.
There are several people inside. This is a large bunkhouse. Several sets of bunk beds. Looks like a table with some, cutlery, food, maybe a card game in the midst of being stopped. And several people in here. Looks like off-duty. They're polishing weapons, they're reading, they're, there are 2 other rooms. You see a door that leads out of this building to the north and to the east. And there is another door that leads to the west. Slipping under there and having a quick look around, you can see that there is another door that leads what you presume to be outside. Let me uncover it. This looks like it is probably their weapons cache. There are several closed chests in here, several racks of weapons, several shields, and they all seem to have that same marking that you saw on the shields that you encountered in the fight with Jolliver, as well as the women that you fought the previous evening. They're styled in the sort of shape of a sea, some sort of seashell or crustacean. Judging by the smell, if you pop your little spider head out under the door, the room to the north is most likely the privy.
All right, I'm going to pause. Can I reveal that black space just on the north part of the entrance? All right, nothing of interest there. I'm not going to go much further at the moment. I'll wait to see what happens with Starship Talks and Taladar. Whether they're going to go inside, whether they're going to ask more questions.
Yeah, what are you guys doing at the gatehouse? Because your transaction is complete.
Well, I asked if we could share some of the drink with him, and if that doesn't happen imminently, I am going to ask for entrance. Can we come in, rest our weary feet for a short while before we are off on our way?
Look, I paid for this fair and square after a fair bit of haggling. I ain't sharing it with the likes of you. You can make yourselves at home here, though, given the proper signage and so on and so forth. I will warn you, there's a bit of a rough sort in here, though. Mind yourself, especially you, lassie.
I will keep that in mind.
Just keep in mind, flash the hand signal should anybody ask you or come across you. You should be all right.
Thank you. We'll be on our way soon enough. It's just nice to rest in a safe place for a little while.
All right, this place is as safe as they come. And he sort of laughs and ribs at his buddies there with him.
I'm going to try and find a quiet corner where nobody is, to let Tox out of the bag if he wants. I mean, if he wants to stay in the bag, I'm happy to carry him, but he weighs like a third of what the contents of my bag normally weighs.
Mm-hmm.
But you probably shouldn't linger too long in case he figures out that there's nothing in his keg.
Oh no, his keg is full of ale.
Is it really?
Yeah,
What?
Savra
How did I
brought
miss
it.
that part? Oh.
No, Savra brought that from the knights.
Oh, thank
She
goodness.
just didn't have anything to spike it with.
Yeah, somehow I missed that part.
It is probably not dwarven ale, but there is booze in it. So yeah, you three, well, the two elves are free to wander around in here.
Do I have an indication of which direction Deeb's Aranor is from us?
You know that he was going to approach from the water side.
Okay. Then I will draw from my component pouch a short piece of copper wire, hold it between two fingers, and whisper into it a message using the message cantrip. I don't know if he's within the 120 feet, but
He is.
if he is, I will just say to him, "We've made it inside. Sold the cask of ale. Having a quiet look around. All's well so far. You can reply to this message, 25 words."
I'm hiding in a
And,
bush and I'm wet.
That's what she said.
No, I'm in the bush. I'm in foliage near the tower to the southeast. Just keeping an eye on things.
All right, I'll relay that to the others. He's inside in a bush, southeast corner.
You hear a muffled fucking Aranor from inside the backpack. What are you guys going to do? You've been given temporary free roam of the grounds. You were told as long as you give the symbol or show the hand sign to any who ask.
The clock's ticking, right? Disguise self is an hour, and I'm assuming we've probably burned a quarter of that.
It's been 10 minutes, I'd say, yeah.
Okay.
I say we go down to the kitchen and see if there's anybody there against their will.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Like, we're stopping in for a short bit. Maybe go to the kitchen under the pretense of looking for a bite to eat.
I'm going to go to the southeast tower and scout that one.
And Tox, do you want to stay in my bag, or would you like to sneak around a bit?
They're expecting 2 people that they let in, so it's best if I stay here.
All right. To the kitchen we go then.
No, we lost Darkstar. And Poker. No, Poker's still there.
I'm here.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
So you are wanting to head to the kitchens?
Yep.
Okay. You know from your previous trip here, well, you assume that it is in the largest building to the north.
Oh, where we fought the guy.
Yep.
Oh shit! I thought. Okay.
So you make your way up there, the two of you, with Tox in a backpack. I don't know, Moss, have you regrouped with them?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if they're heading, are they actually heading towards the kitchens? Can I see that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd say you're still on the building. Probably up here somewhere.
Okay, I'm gonna take a peek inside through the window slit. I clearly see on the south part there.
Here?
Yep.
Yep. So from there, you can see that there are currently... You can see the caster woman that you had seen previously, as well as one guard inside.
I am gonna scurry up the legs of Starsha or Taladar, one or the other, and up to their face and just slap them when I see them walking towards that place.
So, Starsha, you feel a tickle on your arm and then a tickle on your chin as a small spider that you know to be Moss, reaching out with his front feeler leg and hitting you in the face.
Oh, do I know that though?
You would have seen him turn into the spider and climb on
Smush him.
Taladar's shoulder to hitch a ride.
I was going to smush him.
That would be a very bad idea, but clearly I'm signaling you not to go. Like, I'm signaling not to go there.
I would say the two of you, if you wanted, could also, as you're heading up and around, see into that arrow slot and see that there are currently two individuals in that room.
Yeah, like I have no interest in going back into that room. We're looking for the kitchen. I definitely don't want to run into.
The kitchen can only be accessed through that main dining room.
Shit.
What about that other area
Which other area?
to the right?
Here?
I'm not seeing pings.
Because it's not pinging. Hang on.
Yeah. Yep. Why don't you guys
You were
check
told
that
the
out?
last time you were here that is where the priestess does her preaching. It is like a church or
That's
temple.
okay.
Having successfully signaled them, I'll scurry along and scout that building.
You slip under the door on the western side of that building. Come on. And you see that there is indeed someone that looks like a priestess, as well as two others that seem to bear these crustacean-like shields and jagged swords.
The priestess is wearing something that looks like symbols that look like anything I'm seeing as well.
There is a large painted symbol on the wall behind the altar. It's not a symbol that you recognize. Make a religion check. You do
Wow.
recognize it. It is the symbol of an evil aquatic god.
All right. Little pocket of knowledge.
It is, let me just tell you. Yeah, it just seems to be a large symbol of some aquatic looking god. But there is other iconography in the room that seems to be looks like an X with a horizontal bar at the bottom. Looks almost identical to one of the symbols you've seen on Starsha's map.
So it's the same one we symboled with that looked like we were symboling to get in.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll pause there. What's the other group doing?
While you guys are wandering around, you see a couple of what looks like kitchen maids, scullery maids, hurrying from the northeast tower, and they're moving at a fair clip, heading towards the main keep. Their eyes sort of darting around. They eye you. They sort of stop, and then start back up and head into the keep, or towards it, as if to enter.
I mean, should we try this again? I can. Why not? I will wave at one of them. Pardon me. Can I trouble you for a moment of your time?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Are you all right?
Yes, of course I'm all right.
Yeah, insight check, because that's bullshit.
Yeah, roll insight.
Uh, 10.
Yeah, I mean, she has obvious signs of distress.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, I'm gonna try this without, a spell to start with.
Okay.
Are you here against your will? Are there other...
Her friend, you can see her motioning from closer to the keep door, is like, come on. She just sort of looks at you, and she looks up at the guard on the wall, and she doesn't say anything, but she sort of nods her head.
Are there others?
Again, she nods her head.
How many?
She makes as if she's wiping her hands in her apron, and you see that she holds out 8 fingers.
Any dwarves? Anyone from Mirabar?
She looks back towards the guard and her friend, who is like hissing at her to come with her, and she sort of just shrugs her shoulders.
What about...
Yes, of course. No, I'm coming. I'm sorry, I have to go.
What about circus folk? Rubber man.
Rubber man.
There's a man who said he was from the circus. I have to go. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm coming. And she runs up to join her friend and head inside.
Okay, quietly to Tox and Starsha Taladar, we'll just say, well, it's clear we have to kill them all.
Now, we've reached our cutoff time of 8 o'clock. We can stop there before, we get into any combat, because we know combat goes long.
I need to go to bed.
I was going to say, Starsha is almost always overdue for bed, and Deebs is not far from it.
Yeah, I'm okay to stop there.
Okay.
I don't really know what we do next. This place has got a lot of dudes in it.
Can I just quickly reveal the rest of the map here, or is that something we'll have to play through?
I would say the rest of it you probably have to play through. You can't see inside the kitchen unless you go in there.
Okay, well, aside from the kitchen, but the other 2 towers?
Yeah, you could, in the North Tower, you could definitely reveal that. Let me just reveal it quickly. There's a bunch of smelly old rugs in there. And what looks like 3 bugbears.
And what was the count that she gave us? Was it 8? 8
She
10?
held up 8 fingers.
Okay, 8 fingers. Right. Well, I guess the last thing I'd do is would send another message to Aranor with that information, just so everybody's. And if Moss isn't with us, I would try and also message him.
No, Moss has rejoined you.
Okay.
When you
Did I
came
get the
around that
southeast
corner
tower
of the building.
for scouting?
Yeah. Sorry, what did you want?
Southeast tower. Can I scout that one too?
Yeah, in the southeast tower.
Basically, what I want to know here is just a count of number of guards and anything interesting that I see.
This tower looks like it houses the mechanism for the gate. You're not entirely sure what else it controls. It looks like there's a couple of levers there. And it looks like the chamber has been split off into a private bedroom and then other sort of sleeping areas. There are 3 Reavers in there. Behind the curtain is another individual that looks similar to the caster that you saw in the main part of the keep, although this is a man. He has similar markings on him.
What are the Reavers again? Are the Reavers the equivalent of the 2 that we fought in the night?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So they're just cultist soldiers or cult.
Yes.
Yeah. Armed cultists.
And then towards the gatehouses where they seem to be more like armed militia, or the guys on the walls seem to be like hired mercenaries or militia, bandits, maybe pirates.
So there's at least 34 people inside this keep.
Yeah.
Like opponents.
I haven't counted that many, but
If there's ×2 on the walls, and 3, 6.
yes, there are ×2 on the walls actually, but they come from in here, and I should have moved them. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 less in that barracks room
Okay.
because they are out on the walls. I will just move them now. But yeah, we can definitely stop there, Deeves, if you want to stop the stream.